Hi there, this is Brendan for R&B Reviews doing a solo review on the Last House on the Left remake. This is a movie I had the great fortune of seeing an advanced screening of that I won free tickets to on ain'titcoolnews.com. I was a big fan of the original, and I recently picked up the new DVD they put out, which is... I knew that they were going to eventually put one of these out for when the remake came out, so I kind of held off on buying it. But I really like the original. It's very effective for having a lot of sort of contradictory themes going on it. And I mean, there's a comedy subplot in the original that doesn't belong in there at all, but the original, for being so low budget and the way it was done, is extremely effective by the end of it. By the time the credits roll, the movie has made a toll on you. And seeing the trailer for the remake, I immediately thought of, I need to see this movie. The trailer... Granted, the trailer sort of shows the entire plot of the movie and lays it out exactly in chronological order, unfortunately, which I wish less Hollywood trailers would do because they really sort of ruin the whole movie-going experience. But, however, this is a very good remake, and let me get into the plot quickly here. It's a pretty simple plot. The Collingwood family go up to their vacation home. Their daughter goes off into town, meets up with a friend. They end up going around looking for some pot, and they end up going to the wrong people, and they turn out to be these killers on the run. And so the killers are trying to drive away with one of the girl's cars, who is her parents, and they drive the car off the road, wreck it and everything. So they murder one of the girls, rape the other one, shoot her, and leave her for dead. And so they're left out in the woods, not having anywhere to go, and they eventually wander back to the Collingwood house, where the mother and father are just there waiting for their daughter, not knowing their daughter has been raped and shot and wounded somewhere, and they help out the killers, essentially, stitch him up, give him coffee and all that. The daughter comes back to the house. She's able to make it there because she's a swimmer and stuff, so she's very good at swimming, and she's able to swim back there with a gunshot wound and everything. And essentially the parents are left with the decision to get revenge on these killers that they have sleeping right next door to them, and the killers have no idea that they're in one of their victims' house. So it's a very interesting horror movie, same with the original, where it sort of just turns the tables on the killers, and it's just very well done, this movie. It's from the opening credits all the way up to the end credits. The movie is just well shot, extremely well acted. I mean, this is a lot of people complain that a lot of TV actors seem to get cast in these remakes, but Garrett Dillahunt, who was on Deadwood and is now on the Terminator show, is a fantastic actor, and in probably like 3 or 4 years he's going to be a name actor. He's just phenomenal, and he's great in this as the lead killer, Krug, and he completely he doesn't step on the toes of David Hess. I was reading an interview with him, and he said that he did not watch the original, which I was glad to see, because I feel like if you saw the original, you would try and imitate it, because the original is very powerful. And this movie is very powerful in its own respect, and it's extremely effective. Granted, I knew all the beats the movie was going to take. It does not follow the original. It follows the original's plot, but it does not execute everything as is. Like I said, the acting is great in this. I mean, this is just phenomenal acting across the board. There's not really a weak link in the whole movie. The third act of the movie is really the strongest and most suspenseful, when the parents finally have to get revenge on these killers, and it really sort of, you can see it take a toll on them, and they sort of use these at-home remedies to heal wounds and stuff like that. It's very interesting to see the sort of cheap medical stuff they use to help out their daughter and stuff. But very, very good flick. Again, this isn't necessarily a straightforward horror movie either. I would say even for people who don't like horror movies and yet are intrigued by the trailer, I say go see it. I mean, the movie's got some disturbing scenes in it, and I was dreading, because I knew the rape and murder scene was coming up in the movie, and I was just dreading that sequence, and it sort of builds up to it and gets there, but it makes the third act with the revenge all the more sweeter, which is great that this flick finally just turns the tables on the killers and stuff. And this is one remake, I would say, out of the last few years of just god-awful Hollywood remakes of classics that I would definitely say see this remake. It's very good. Even if you haven't seen the original, I would say. But you do owe yourself a chance to see the original. The original's got some really good stuff in it. But so does this movie. This movie completely makes it its own. The director did a fantastic job. I know Wes Craven shows him. I don't think he's ever directed an American movie before. And Wes Craven did the good job of choosing the right guy for this movie. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I think it's Dennis something. But he does a great job with this movie. It just looks great. All the action scenes are great. It's suspenseful. The blood and gore isn't there to turn you off. It's really there to sort of, I want to say shock you, but it's there to make sort of the revenge sequence all the better. And this is one movie I gotta recommend, even if you're not a horror fan or whatnot. Just one more quick closing point. Like I said, recommend completely. But I went with a friend to see this movie, and we walked out of the theater. I asked him what he thought about it. I personally thought it was great. I loved it. He thought it was okay. So I guess you can have differing opinions on this. But when it comes out in next week, or I believe it's next week it comes out, I'm definitely going to see it before it leaves theaters again, because I really enjoyed this flick. It was a good remake, and it's a good movie. It's not just a good remake. Definitely check it out, and leave comments, and let me know what you think. Brendan for R&B Reviews. Thanks for watching.